Hello and welcome to my channel. What I've got for you today is a collection of 3 luxury wristwatches that you can wear anywhere, go anywhere, and each piece stands alone, even though one is 4,000 and another one is £8,500. They don't feel like a lesser watch. I wanted to create a collection, a 3-piece luxury watch collection for around 20k, and I have knocked it out of the park with the pieces I'm about to show you. One is a Tudor. I have always wanted to have a Tudor in my collection, and after I purchased 15, I am not making this up, this is my 15th Tudor, I finally found the perfect one. So if you're looking for a Tudor, look no further. Brenny has wasted thousands of pounds on finding the right one. I've always wanted to have a Panerai in my collection, and again I agonized over this Panerai. I wanted an automatic, and I wanted a certain size, and I wanted a certain look, and that's why I chose this particular piece, the Corrente. It's a 40mm Panerai. For those of you that wanted the larger wristed Panerais, just go ahead and buy any Panerai that looks like Brenny's. But don't pay full MSRP, and don't buy a Panerai pre-owned. Trust me, even Panerai can't tell the difference between a real and a fake Panerai. Another reason for buying a Panerai from an AD such as CW Sellers is you get an 8 years warranty with the watch, and they are open to do discounts, and I didn't pay full MSRP for this piece. The Tudor, I got it pre-owned and I saved a ton of money, and my Explorer, I also got that pre-owned and I also saved a ton of money. Full disclosure, I have a 1 in 1 out rule, and for the Panerai I got rid of my Peter Blake, and for the Tudor I got rid of my Peter Blake, and for the Rolex I got rid of my 60th anniversary bond. I did. I just went off the watch. I think it was just too thick. It just didn't feel right on the wrist anymore, and I was just keeping it for the sake of keeping it. If you do the math, you'll see that my 1 in 1 out rule has slightly failed, but it's, nothing is ever written in stone. 3 in, 2 out, that's a very good percentage. Don't you agree, guys? In case the wife's watching. Right. What I'm about to show you is very subjective. 2 pieces I'm going to tell you you've got to buy them. The Rolex is up to you, guys. Any Rolex is good, any modern Rolex is good. If you decide, no, I don't like the Polar Explorer, I like the Datejust, then go ahead and buy the Datejust. Doing the math on this 20k collection, this watch, this Tudor Black Bay 41, I went for the burgundy because I have quite a few watches. You could go for the mono just as easily on the 5-link bracelet. I got this for £2,700 pre-owned. New, it's 4k. You're mad if you buy a brand new Tudor. Even if you see the latest Tudor, give it a year and save £1,000. So let's just round this up and say that cost me 3k. This watch here, this gorgeous Panerai Corrente, I agonized over the dial, and I went for the white one because I wanted to be more versatile. I wanted to put different straps on there. I've been wearing it on this Atom Hydroflex strap for about 2 weeks. Nothing wrong with the strap. Absolutely love the strap. However, I bought the watch so that I could mix it up and wear it on different straps. And today I swapped it out for another Atom Hydroflex strap. And again, it was an easy fix, easy swap, and I will show you later on in this video how easy it is to do it and how easy it is to remove the quick release pins so that you can fit it onto your Panerai. Back to this watch collection. So the Panerai I didn't pay full MSRP for. The MSRP I believe is 6,700. You can take at least 900 quid off that. So, but let's just round it down to 6,000. So 3,000 and 6,000, that leaves you 11,000 for pretty much any Rolex that you want apart from a GMT. Now you can get an older GMT, you can get an older Batman on a bracelet for 11k. I have seen them. Any Rolex is good. Now you can see I like straps. However, I just want to just clarify here that you always get the truth on my channel. I would never put an aftermarket strap on a Rolex. I'm just going to get up here to show people what I mean. If you have a look, there is no better bracelet than a Rolex bracelet. And unless you've got a very old Rolex, like an older 5-digit reference, I suggest you leave the bracelet alone on this watch. And as you can see, it fits beautifully. Let's just take a look at my Polar Explorer in a little bit more detail, just a little bit. Up close on the camera, you can see that the dial is very distinctive. I wasn't overly fond of the arrowhead tip on the 24-hour hand. I thought the orange color was a little bit naff. And then after owning the watch and seeing that the wording Explorer 2 is in the same color, it actually contrasts and suits the watch. It's got a date function, it's got the Cyclops, and it is a 3-day power reserve, and I believe it is 150 meters water resistance. It's got the line under there. It could be 10 bar. It's either 10 bar or 15 bar. I'm sure somebody in the comments would like to point that out to Brenny, but this is not a technical video. And again, I just really like the watch. The best part of the watch, the lume. The indicets and the hands are incredible. It's incredible. It's an incredible loomed watch. Very legible and just looks great on the wrist. What I also like is the bracelet having no polished center links. It also has the option to extend the bracelet by pulling it out. It's just a really nice watch, guys. You won't go wrong with a Polar Explorer. If you're only having one Rolex in the collection, don't overlook the Black Explorer. The Black Explorer 2, it is again another stunning looking piece. Both of these watches are actually achievable from any AD now in the United Kingdom. If you just go in there and ask, you'll get the phone call pretty quickly. If you're getting stonewalled by your ADs, reach out to me on Instagram and I will hook you up with a very good Rolex AD. So that pretty much is the Explorer. I'm not doing a sales pitch on the Explorer. If we then go to the Panerai, I've regretted loads of watch purchase in the past, but never this Panerai. I love everything about this watch. I find it extremely comfortable on the wrist, and it has two problems that you can overlook if you put it on a aftermarket strap. The first is the straps are terrible. You know, even if you paid full retail for this watch, £6,700 with those two straps are just dreadful. On a pin buckle, the leather alligator strap just looks cheap, and then the backup strap doesn't have a pin buckle on there. You have to swap it around. It's really annoying, guys. So that's why I went straight to Artem to fix that problem. Second problem with the watch is it doesn't have hacking seconds, which means when you pull out the crown, or the winder as I like to call it, to wind up the trolls, you'll see that the seconds hand keeps moving. So it's not so easy to set perfect time. You have to know your watch when you're dealing with this watch. If you know that it runs fast, you can set it as close to being on time as possible. If you know it runs slow, set it a little bit faster than the current time by pushing the pin down when it is past the particular time that's closest to yours. I know it sounds really confusing, but basically you have to know your watch when you're setting the time on this Panerai. Newer movements from Watches and Wonders, I believe, don't have this problem, and I don't find it an issue. It was new to me that watches didn't have hacking seconds. So, but once you get past that, it's not an issue, guys. But there are things about this watch that are incredible, and at the moment I'm just loving the domed crystal. I'm absolutely loving it. I love everything about this watch, and one of the main things about this watch that you need to factor in is this is designed for straps, because the brushing is all the way through. It's absolutely beautifully finished. So when you're putting another watch that isn't meant for a strap, you can see that it's very badly finished, and you're looking at that all the time. Where if you compare it to the Panerai, it's like night and day, guys. So that's another reason to own a Panerai. It's an absolute strap monster, looks great on everything. Absolutely great. Let me just get up now and show you the watch on the wrist. We'll just have a quick look at the watch up close on the strap. You see what I mean, guys? Look at how beautifully finished the watch is. And it looks great on any strap. It doesn't have to be an Atom strap. The reason I like Atom straps is they're very, very comfortable, very versatile, and I love a deployable clasp. I always have and always will. That is the Panerai. Let's move on to the last watch, which is the Tudor. And I was very careful with this collection to put you 3 pieces from 3 brands: Tudor, Panerai, and Rolex. Tudor are famous for the snowflake hands. The only issue with this watch, from an aesthetics point of view, is I would have preferred if the indices were square instead of round. But you can't have everything in life perfect, guys. I went for the burgundy because I have multiple watches and I wanted a point of difference. If you've only got the budget for one watch and you've got a budget of 3K, go straight to this, get it on the 5 link and get the mono, which is the black, and you'll be very happy while you're building up the savings to get yourself a Panerai, and then you're building up your savings to get yourself a Rolex. Funny thing is, sports watch, dress watch. Panerai actually refers to this as a dress watch, when really I would call them all sports watches. So if you want a dress watch in the collection, that is a dress watch. However, you might want to go with a different Rolex, a more dressier Rolex. Let's say a Yachtmaster. A Yachtmaster is 10,500 and you can get that watch from an AD2. Right, back to why this watch is not a lesser watch. It just isn't, guys. It's a lovely watch. It's extremely comfortable. It's extremely accurate because this watch is META certified. The Panerai isn't META certified. I got lucky with my one. It keeps very good time. The Rolex is not META certified. It's certified through Rolex, which is plus minus 2 seconds a day. And with META, you're guaranteed 0 to 5 seconds plus a day. It's very good for the money. For 3K pre-owned to get a META certified watch within warranty is incredible, guys. What else can I say about this watch? It's a lume monster. Out of all the watches I own, that's got the best lume. You don't have to charge this watch. You can literally go to bed and you can, at any point in the night, you can tell what time it is. You won't be able to see the lume here, guys. It's in daylight. But the Tudor is the best. I know for a fact you don't have to charge the Tudor. You literally just wear it all day and you can wear it through the night. At 5 a.m. in the morning, even in pitch dark, it is extremely legible. It's unusual to get a watch that legible. Just to give you some contrast, I have an OP41 and there's no way I could tell the time on that watch at 5 a.m. in the morning. A little tidbit for you, I did struggle with the lume on all of my Omegas. Another tidbit for you, even though Panerai is famous for their lume and their sandwich dials, this is a much better lume than the Panerai, believe it or not. The water resistance of the 3 watches, 200 meters, 100 to 150 meters and 100 meters, but I found out recently that Panerai are tested far greater than their advertising. Absolutely love this watch. Collecting watches is very subjective. All I can do is give you some advice. The Rolex is up to you guys. Do not compromise on the Tudor. If you don't own a Tudor and you want to buy a Tudor, trust Brenny. The Black Bay 41 Metas is the one to buy. Sadly, this year they didn't launch it in a blue. I thought they would. If you've only got the money for one, get the mono. If you've got multiples, get the burgundy and thank me later. Purchasing a Panerai is a must. You've got to get a Panerai in your collection. Trust Brenny. CW sellers, reach out, talk to Harriet. She'll do you a good deal. In respect of Brenny's recommendation of Panerai, I always tell the truth, guys. And again, the straps are terrible, and that's why I'm telling you guys it's a no-brainer to put it straight on a Hydroflex strap, an Artem Hydroflex strap. This is not a sales pitch. I'll give you one last example. I'm going to wear this watch till I die. If I only ever owned one watch, it would be this watch. If I sold all my watches, I would never sell this Panerai. If Artem straps ever went out of business, or their quality wasn't the same as now, I would find this strap. I would work out how many years of life I would live for. Let's say another 27 years, and I would buy 27 of these straps. I would buy a lifetime supply. It's going to be an expensive day because I'm going to need one for this watch as well. I might just play it safe and go with all black, but there's a problem, guys. 22 mil, 21 mil, and most of my watches are 20 mil. It's going to be a very expensive day if Artem straps go bust. Hopefully that day will never happen. Last watch on the recommendation, the Brenny recommendation, is a Rolex. Now I keep telling you guys, you get the truth on Brenny's channel. You don't see this watch on an aftermarket strap because you'd be crazy to do that. Rolex makes the best bracelet, the most comfortable bracelet. The only reason I would take a Rolex off a bracelet if the bracelet was broken, a Rolex replacement bracelet, is £1,100 to £1,500. I've just said that I wouldn't take a bracelet off a modern Rolex. I just wouldn't, guys. I would only do it for two reasons. One is if it was broken. Two, if it was an older Rolex and had an older bracelet. If you look at my older Rolex, my 5-digit reference, I love this watch and I don't wear it very often, so I leave it on this bracelet. It's kind of nostalgic. This is a brand new bracelet though. The original bracelet was knackered when I got it. This bracelet cost me £1,100 and it's a bit thinny because it doesn't have solid end links and it doesn't have a micro adjustment clasp on there. If I'd have known now what I knew then, have I said that wrong? If I knew now what I knew then, if I knew then what I knew, if I knew then what I knew now, I'd have just bought a Hydroflex strap. I would have bought the black one and it would have looked great on this watch and it wouldn't have felt like a lesser watch. It would have just looked incredible. And this strap, including the deployable clasp, is £250 delivered, where a replacement bracelet from Rolex, if you can get one, is £1,100. That's another reason why I'm hell-bent on telling all my subscribers that the Artem straps are incredible. To finish up this video, I want to show you my absolute favorite watch, a watch that I love, and that if you don't buy one, you're crazy. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And I'll catch you on the next Brenny video.